Can I fucking get some room, bro? Action.
Who wants to make $500 real quick?
Dollar bill, y'all.
Told you, just wanted
He
to
took my
say
shit.
something.
Tell them, bro. Tell them how they can make $500.
All right. So look, we're looking for the best editors around. Like, we need some fire editors to help us out with our setup here. What we want to do is we're putting out a competition. We're giving $500 away to the best edits, whether it be a montage or clips, anything you got. I want you to send it to us using some of our previous footage.
Let me tell them what to do, bro.
Get it.
Hey, send this shit to our Instagram. Make it into Bro, get in frame though, bro. Put it in TikTok format. You have hella shit to choose from our YouTube channel. Hey, and may the winner, what was it? May the best, may the good luck. Good luck. Best of luck. Cuts ahead.
The cuts are here.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Before the Cut. Back in his bitch.
Cuts it. New studio alert. New studio alert.
Right.
Yo, a lot of changed scenery over these last episodes.
Some stuff got added, some stuff got cut out.
Yep.
It is what it is.
Chuy, coming from Chicago.
Baby.
Not sure if you've ever been to it, but it's Fremont, Chicago, downtown. We have this headline that goes basically viral. Story from this African-American family. They headed into this restaurant, went to check in for the reservation. They got turned away because one of the girls were wearing athletic gear. Yeah. She goes back to the car to change. Then all of a sudden, the other family member, the sister, she then comes walking back to the car, and they say now they're complaining about her outfit, which was a jumpsuit, apparently. So I find this very interesting. What's your guys' thoughts here?
Well, yeah, so, sorry, you mind?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I used to work in the nightclub industry here in Vegas, and this was kind of I would say a common occurrence. Not necessarily race involved, but there were certain people, right? But so the restaurants and nightclubs, they'll put certain stipulations on their dress code, like you can't wear these types of hats, you can't wear these types of jerseys, even though some people will be allowed in with that attire, but it was mostly to avoid any sort of riffraff. And so what I'm saying is I don't think we had enough of the story on what these people were doing before, what actually got them caused to not be allowed in. But I did see that their bouncer was a black guy who didn't let them in, and I think that these people were just problems from the get-go.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, I think, so that's interesting that you said that. So some places won't allow something, but they'll let them in anyways?
They'll let, so like most nightclubs won't let, jerseys in, but it's not because of like jerseys. It's not because of the people that wear jerseys necessarily, but it's because if this guy has, Chicago's Bulls on and this guy has the Lakers on and they're playing tonight, they're going to get into a fight, or they could. It's a higher likelihood of them fighting.
But wouldn't you, if the table right in front of you was like wearing a jersey and you have a jersey, you'd be like, wait, why is there an issue now?
100%. But in this scenario, it wasn't a jersey, right? It's a jumpsuit, and it was another person that they allegedly saw.
I agree. Allegedly, right? Who knows?
Right?
You don't see inside.
And a jumpsuit there's different things. But once again, I think it's too hard to say we don't allow jumpsuits. I think it got to a point where it was like, we don't allow athletic wear in here. And they flipped out so much that they were like, no, fuck you. You're not allowed in here.
Yeah.
And then they maybe pinned it on, she's wearing a jumpsuit now, so we're not going to let it in.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never been turned away for somewhere for, well, I mean,
you don't act ratchet.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
I feel like social engineering is so forgotten about. And what I mean by social engineering is the ability to talk to people and finesse your way into situations. And some people don't have that. You got it, I got it. So I think we can get into a building, it doesn't matter what we're wearing. I know you've been in nightclubs wearing exactly what the fuck you're wearing.
Yeah.
I've been next to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's the difference. I think if you act up, they don't have to let you in. It's still a for-profit business.
Yeah, and
businesses they don't have to let you in. A lot of places out here are very open.
We have the right to refuse service to anyone.
No shoes, no shirt, no service.
Yeah,
right?
that's the first. When I moved here is when I realized, I'm like, man, a lot of places have that fucking huge sign in the beginning. I'm like,
yeah.
So I don't think that you necessarily have to give a reason why, but don't get me wrong. If I was not getting let in because I had a hat on and I see people with hats, I'm gonna make a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a Karen, bro. I'd be like, hold on. First of all, I have a reservation for 7 people. This is a nice place. Our bill's gonna be crazy. So not letting me in because I have a hat on and there's a hat right there. Let me talk to somebody. I think there is a right way to, like you said, conversate your way into.
Yeah, I think it escalates in different ways. And don't get me wrong.
But if you are belligerent, you are making a big fucking scene. Like you kind of did it to yourself,
right?
You know what I mean?
Well, I think it exacerbates quickly, and I feel like the easiest cop is always, it's because I'm black, or because I'm brown, or because but it's too easy. There's such a fine line between what you can act more decently and probably get treated better, or just find a reason to become a victim in a situation.
Yeah,
I think that's that fine line.
Yeah. But how do you know?
Why are you smiling?
No. Joel, how do you know that they were acting crazy though?
I don't know. And so here's the reality. Could they be in the right? Absolutely. The reality is, though, I've seen personally and through, like medias, I've seen this exact same type of scenario play out too many times where I'm watching someone play a victim on themselves.
Yeah.
Where I know a lot of very powerful people, doesn't matter their skin color, they could be black, brown, Asian, whatever, but they would take a situation like that and be like, I'm better than this, right? And you wouldn't even hear about it.
Yeah.
So... There's that element.
Yeah, I feel you.
I feel I mean, you've worked restaurant business, you work nightclub business. I've done customer service, like facing shit. Like anytime someone obviously reacts in like an aggressive way, that's like the immediate light bulb. Like, fuck this person.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like,
this guy's gonna be
I
a
will go
problem.
out of my way to fuck them over.
Exactly. And I think you make like a really good point. It was probably one of those things where it's like they started nitpicking at what was going on, probably because of how they were acting or how, they reacted when they said, no athletic gear. The one what I just kind of feel is interesting with the whole thing. And it reminds me of a lot of scenarios like here in Vegas. Like end of the day, a lot of these spots, like you can wear whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
But it's who you know.
Yeah.
It's who you with and who you are.
Yeah.
Like those 3 things. And dependent on those 3 things, there's
you do whatever the fuck
you do whatever you want.
And at the same time too, something like that, like if you do have a party and they don't want to let you in, just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It also doesn't need to be escalated even more.
Right. But that's the thing. If you want to inflict the most damage to that business, what's easier nowadays than cancel culture? They're racist.
I'm gonna write a fucking review on you, bitch.
Yeah.
Not letting me in.
Yeah. That was the old day, bro. That was just you're racist, and I'm gonna show the world.
And because like all these spots, and then if you read farther down in the article, after they were going back and forth, where like, well, these guys are wearing this, and we're gonna change to this, and we see in here, people wearing this, and then what they pulled on them to completely get out of the whole situation. They're like, well, we don't seat anyone after 4 p.m. and it's already past 4 p.m. Or like I've seen spots be like, oh, well, actually, this would be more for a walk-in. But I've seen places like, I know they have reservations, but they're straight turning around people because they don't want them there, or they're like, we're not looking to, have.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, dude, it's the whole. Like especially here in Vegas, like the dining and like the nightlife industry, like 2 words: manager discretion.
Yeah.
You know, and
sure.
There's so much bullshit that goes along with it. I have
but make sure you clip the picture of this fucking scene in there, because the bouncer in the background is a black dude.
Yeah.
Put it up there.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a hella funny story about fucking getting turned down and what all went with it. So, if you guys ever ate at a Cipriani?
No.
It's at Wynn. So me and my boy were out partying all afternoon. Cipriani's this fine dining Italian spot. It was like early, bro. It was like 5:30, 6 o'clock. We've been at the pool all day. We were just like drunk. We were hungry, whatever. one of my friends, he lives out in New York. He's pretty connected with whether it's dining or nightlife, New York, Miami, Vegas, all over the place. Yeah. Well, we walk into Cipriani. We both have shorts on. I got a t-shirt on. We both have backwards hats on. And my boy's wearing a
Miami starter pack,
and my boy's got a tank top on. And keep in mind, this is like fine dining Italian restaurant, and we were like getting looks from like right when we walked in. They're like, "Who the fuck are these guys?" You know. And the first thing it was, well, how we got in there was I hit one of my boys and I said, "Hey." The one I was telling you that was involved in nightlife. I was like, "Hey, can you get me a reservation here?" He's like, "Yeah, no problem." So he hit the manager and got us the reservation. That's how we got in the first place. Yeah. So we got a reservation through him. So now we're checking in for the reservation and they're like, "Okay, this guy has a reservation here. How did he get this reservation?" And now they're straight like eyeing us because of our clothing. Ends up being that they were like, "Yeah, like, you can't be in here with, tank tops on, like, go buy a fucking shirt or something." So my boy's like, "Oh, fuck it. There's a OVO store just right across." So he walked into OVO, bought himself like a crew neck hoodie, tossed that on. And then we come back and I think they still were just like, "Who the fuck are these guys?" Right. So then they were like giving us shit, about wearing shorts. And I literally hit my boy Adam and I said, "Hey, we're at Cipriani. Like, we got tops on. Yes, we have hats on, but we have no pants. Like, do we really need to go buy pants or like what's good here?" So my boy hit the manager and was like, "Yo, like, this is a good friend of mine. Like, like, what do we got to do here?" So we're waiting for just like a couple of minutes, bro. They bring us fucking pants. They bring us pants out of the back, bro. They literally
got two naked cooks in the back.
They're like, "Juan, Carlos, give me your fucking pants."
So they were like black. They were like black, kind of like almost like MC Hammer pants. Yeah. And I think, they looked like some cook pants shit, bro. And they straight up brought us out and said, "Hey, obviously want to, have you guys here. Thank you for coming in." Their whole tune all of a sudden changed just because my boy hit them up. Basically, my boy is, respected by them. And it was just like all of a sudden it was just a whole like connection thing. Yeah. And they're like, "This guy knows this guy. This guy knows this guy. Yeah. Take care of him." Bro. So that's just like, and that's why this article was so interesting to me, because like I've been in situations like even clubs where it's like the club strictly says like no hats, but then it's like a host at the club, or maybe based on like what you're wearing, it's a little like dance in that line of, bro, like
it's 100% who you know.
And then all of a sudden the host straight up walks us in. So anyway, I guess what I'm getting at is it's 100% like, so especially in the fine dining game and the nightlife game, big cities like here, it's who the fuck you know, bro.
Bro, there's also no greater feeling though, because I had something similar, but I just remembered. So I cut somebody very, very high up in MGM, right? All company, not just the hotel. So whenever I want to do something, whatever, and I try not to bother him, but we're cool. I cut his kids and shit. So Bad Bunny's coming into town. I was like, "Oh, bro." I fucking hit him months in advance. And it comes like a week later, and I'm like, "Hey, bro, I just want to, is it possible?" He's like, "Yeah. So I was like, "Cool. How do I get them?" And he's like, "Well, just go to the VIP guests." He's like, "You won't miss it. Big gold doors. Just walk in there, tell them your name, and then they'll get you. They're cool. Any questions, call me." I'm like, "Bro, I appreciate you." So we walk in there. Have you ever when we went to get for
Lil Man J.
Lil Man J.
Yep.
So we walk in there, and it's my wife and I brought my cousin and her husband. So we walk in there, and immediately, lady's like, "Guest, are you here for guest check-in?" And I was like, "No, I'm here to pick up some tickets." And they're like, "Oh, it's not here." And I was like, "Well," they're like, "It's you have to go to the basically the general place." right? And they're like, it's right around the corner. And I was like, I was told to come here.
Listen, Juan.
Bro, yeah. So I felt it immediately. They're like, you're not supposed to be here, right? Because we're like in concert clothing, which is nice, but we're not. Everybody in there's like in suits and shit. They have a separate lounge. Right.
Yeah.
People drinking coffee and shit. I was like, oh, I'm gonna give me some of that shit, right? So she's just automatically kind of with a little rudeness attitude, and I was like, no, I was told to come here. I didn't say the guy's name yet. I'm like, I'm actually here to pick up some tickets. They're like, oh, do you have, who gave it to you? And I was like, my buddy, I literally just got off the phone with him. He told me to call. He's like, I'm sorry, what's your name? And I give her ID. She's like, I don't see anything. And I was like, are you sure? Like, I just got off the phone. Like, he told me they're in the drawer. She was like, no, I don't know. The tickets are over there. I'm telling you, you need to go over there. And she's all fucking hectic. My wife's like, maybe we should go there. I'm like, no. So I'm like, okay, hold on 1 second. Hey, beep. And I was like, I'm here, and they're having a hard time finding tickets. They said they're not here. They actually told me to go to the other thing. I'm like, I just want to make sure I'm in the right spot. Pass me the phone to her. He wants to talk to you. She takes my phone, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Boop. He's like, I'm looking for his name. I don't see him here. He's like, oh, they're in the drawer? The one that she opened 4 times and pretend they weren't in there? Okay, no, thank you. I'm sorry about that. No. She's just like, her voice jumped up a couple octaves. Yeah. She's like, oh, no, whatever.
I didn't realize you knew Mexicans.
Bro. So she's like, here you go. She's like, I'm sorry, give me 1 second. And she goes and like pretends to talk to somebody. Opens the thing and she's like, here you go. He's like, please help yourself to, we have snacks, we have drinks over there, we have a personal bartender. If you wanna hang out there. I was like, thanks. I would love to. Fucking.
What was your name again? I'll write that one down.
Yeah, bro. I remember her face. I remember everything about her, but I don't know. It just reminded me of that. Yeah. And then like, I was like, do you mind putting on the VIP braces? Like, I always have a hard time with this, so she fucking
absolutely.
She definitely fucking put that on. She probably tightened the shit out of it.
Yeah, she's like, here you go.
Yeah.
I was like, thanks, doll. I appreciate you.
I had some shit happen to me like that. It made me
the greatest feeling though, bro. Once you come up,
Oh yeah. Well, so it made me think. So I was flying. Can't remember where I was going. Maybe Miami or something like that. But so I get onto the plane and I was in first class. I was one of the first people on, right? And as soon as I get in, the lady on the plane, the flight attendant says, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. We're only boarding first class." Like, yeah, that's the job of the lady up at the front who's, calling out group numbers, But she's like, oh, no, we're only boarding first class. I'm like, that's my seat. And immediately it was like, oh, like, how do you even make that mistake in the flight attendant's job? But
you think I just jumped over the gate and just
snuck my way? I snuck past the last lady. You know what I mean? But it's interesting when you see someone make kind of like those mistakes, just assuming. Yeah, and I kind of get it. I do. I didn't look like I should be in first class.
But that's probably why to me it feels so sweet, bro. Because it's just like, I know you're not you're wrong by making these judgments. Right. Like, bitch, I was told to come here.
Right.
By your boss's boss's boss. Stop fucking playing with me. Stop. Please stop. The 3 letters after letters after his name can fucking get you in trouble. So stop. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, it's a cool feeling. But the time that we went, this is what makes it even funnier. We had before you joined, we had Little Man Jay on. Fucking go check that out if you haven't seen it. We actually were in the wrong place to get his tickets. Remember, Evan? To get his room? And the lady was like, oh yeah, you're in the wrong spot, but I'll just help you out. And I was like, oh. Yeah. But every time he does hook me, I'm like embarrassed. I'm like, my bad, bro. Because I was like, the whole time I'm like, oh, bro, they had the best coffee over there. Yeah. I can't wait to go make myself a little espresso. And they were like, but we'll take care of it. It's no big deal. She was at least nice, but it was funny.
So moral of the story, we need to be connected at everywhere we fucking go.
Yeah.
So we never get turned away or never have to deal with any bullshit.
Nah, fuck it, dude. I kind of like that excitement of being like, oh, bitch, if you only knew I'm in the right spot.
That's what I'm saying. That's what, but like when you get connected, you have that in the back pocket already. You walk through at least for me, I feel like, but everybody get out the way. I was invited.
Right.
I'm known.
Speaking of being taken care of, I got another topic for us.
Oh boy.
Okay? So Dwayne Wade is getting taken care of by his girl, Gabrielle Union. Oh. They out here. There's been I've seen some stuff about them a few different times. And like we've obviously talked about Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union,
Zaza,
and This one I think is just is interesting topic in general, but Gabrielle Union came out and said that her and Dwayne Wade, they basically split all their bills 50-50.
Yeah.
The interesting one here, and I'm curious, where you guys' thoughts are. They're married. I know we've talked about, dating and who should like pay for tabs and like shit like that, but they're obviously married. They're both extremely, extremely wealthy. I think on paper, technically Gabrielle Union makes more money than Dwayne Wade. So anyway, marriage, paying 50-50. I want to know your guys' thoughts.
You threw me off in a loop when we were texting back and forth that she makes more money on paper. So that kind of shifted my argument. But I want to hear you first.
So my whole thing is just like, if you guys are in a relationship, regardless of the money, I feel like we're in such a weird dynamic nowadays that.
Well, yeah. Okay, sorry.
I got 3 words.
Go ahead.
Cut me off.
Sorry.
So I feel like we're in such a weird dynamic nowadays where it doesn't matter anymore. Like we're all contributing to the household. We're both working. All that shit happens. Whereas, back in the day, a wife did different things than they do now. I think we all agree on that.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Someone said we got to go back to it.
What do you mean?
I'm just kidding. Not that.
Well, I mean, there's elements. There's elements, right? But yeah, I think having 2 people to come in and they're both paying for whatever, especially when they're massively rich like that, like who the fuck cares? No one notices. Yep. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at. I agree with it. Me and my girl are the same way.
You split shit 50-50?
We don't notice. It all goes into we have separate accounts that we use for like our own shit. So I have my own personal account. She has her own personal account. I don't have to tell her with anything I'm buying out of my personal account. She doesn't have to tell me about shit she's buying out of her personal account. But then we have a joint that comes together and we buy our bills out of it. So is it 50-50? I would say yeah.
Yeah. So, but like the money that comes. Like the 2, your check, her check.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You separately you take some and put in your own?
Yeah.
And you don't know her amount, she doesn't know yours?
Yeah. I mean, I know her amount, but I handle most of the finances, right?
Oh, but you have access, you can see her stuff.
Not all of it. She still has, but I know just from me how much is in there. So I know to calculate what, our grand picture. So what do you got? Okay, I got this much. That's cool. But she buys whatever the fuck she wants.
Yeah.
Gets that shit.
Yeah. I see. Evan, what do you think?
Chuy, you're hella confused right now. I don't think you know what to think.
No, I'm just not that I like hearing about shit like that, but it's interesting, seeing how other people manage their stuff.
How do you manage yours?
So yeah.
Well, we have it's similar but not, right? Like everything goes into one pot. We have our direct deposits coming we have a shared checking and a savings. That's technically not shared, it's mine.
Yep.
Under my name. But the money that comes in from both pots gets moved to this.
Yeah, okay.
Now, she can see what's in there.
Yeah.
She can move whatever. I handle most of it, right? So what she does is from this, where it comes in, cars, bills, she handles all that shit. And then what's left is what gets distributed to savings and then whatever. If she wants to buy something, it's right there, So, but the 50-50 thing I think is interesting. Not their specific dynamic. When you got 2 multimillionaires, it doesn't even matter.
Right.
Yep.
Because what people that see that is the opposite, right? So I think when she comes out and says that, I don't think she thinks about regular everyday couples being like, oh, we got to do 50-50.
I don't think it's her responsibility to think
No,
about
but
that.
I'm just saying, but you also don't have to say shit about that. They're very vocal about almost everything that they do when it comes to their child. That's very controversial.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
listen to them at all.
Well, we've talked about it because they're so open about it, right? But yeah, I don't think it's. What was the question? You asked me if. No, I don't like that because, and this might just be my toxic mind. If you're doing 50-50 and you're putting away that I don't have anything, I don't know about it, and we're married and we're in a fucking, this is us. but you're putting money to the side. In maybe it's just my twisted mind, I feel like that's your plan B. Where it's like, why don't we have a savings together? Why don't we have this together? Is that your rainy day shit? So if you're like, and then in my mind it goes to, oh, she's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. So why are we doing this 1 foot, foot out thing?
So
That's interesting.
Okay, so this got me hella thinking. So, but if you're so concerned about this rainy day fund, so I'm assuming you don't agree that a man should split bills 50-50, therefore meaning that you pay more of the bills than she does, meaning she would technically have more money for her rainy day fund. I don't understand, I guess, what you're saying.
No, I'm saying like if
because if you're paying more of the bills, that means that she's got more money to fucking play with, right?
I'm confused on what you're saying.
I get what you're saying, but yeah,
I see what you're saying. But what I'm saying is like, all right, let's just say you and Lucas are in a relationship, right? You get a check, you get a check.
Yep.
It comes into a checking that you guys have together, and then you guys have a separate, a together savings. So it's 50-50, whatever. But all of your money is coming into this. However the bills get paid, it doesn't matter because you guys are both contributing. And then whatever gets put to savings gets to your together savings. Yeah. So if Evan comes home one day and is like, you know what? Maybe he doesn't tell you. Probably doesn't tell you. Or whatever. He has a separate account and is like, you know what? I'm going to start putting just $100 on this one that Lucas doesn't know about. That this is just like I'm just going to have this here. Yeah. Aside from the savings you guys have together as a couple. Mm-hmm. That's sus as fuck to me. That's a red flag.
Yeah, but when did that come into the picture? Because, so here's what I'm saying. I think Gabrielle Union, she said we split shit 50-50. And it's like, yeah, if shit's going all into one account and you're buying all your bills out of that one account, you're 50-50, right? Yeah. So I feel like it got overanalyzed to whatever hypothetical scenario you just painted. Yeah. Into like, oh, well, she split money and then she got a rainy day fund.
Hold on. How do we?
You're like, your own insecurities are coming out in their relationship.
Because we got here a certain way. I just don't remember how. Yeah. Why did I bring that up?
That's a great point. How?
Okay.
Because I asked you about your accounts, your separate accounts.
Yeah.
That's okay. But you guys still, everything comes in together and then it gets moved. That's different.
Yeah. Well, but no. Before it even comes in, it's split direct deposits, right? So some goes here, some goes there.
Yeah.
That's it. So she has her own money. I have my own money.
Yeah. So like,
I don't like that though.
Damn, bro.
Neither one of us got handcuffs on us, bro. She can do whatever.
I don't think it's a bad thing, like because it's all in the same thing.
Yeah.
It just to me, look, I'm not keeping it a buck.
Every
to me,
person
it looks sneaky. In my opinion.
Yeah.
But if you guys are on the same thing, like I'm just gonna, because I don't want to have to ask you if I want to buy some rims. Like I'm just gonna do it. Like it's different.
Exactly.
Well, the same shit.
And
right?
you have to remember. So there's a lot of moving fucking pieces in our life as is, right? So there's a lot of different bank accounts as is. But the whole point of separating that is because I think it's more suspicious when she's spending money out of an account that we're both putting shit into, and vice versa. If I'm spending money on some dumb shit that I like out of an account that she's putting money into, that's more suspicious.
Yeah, like
now we gotta pinch some pennies and be like, yo, you're spending more than I am. When you got your money and I got my money, I can spend whatever I want on whatever I want. You can spend whatever you want on whatever you want. It makes it easier.
Yeah, it does, but if
okay, let me jump in. So all of this really comes down to who the breadwinner is. So if
I don't think so.
100%.
I don't think so either, but go ahead.
So let me explain a little bit. Okay. So we look at so I think we're probably looking into too deep. Like Gabrielle Union probably said like that 50-50. It's more probably just meaning that like, hey, they're both very wealthy and they're both paying fucking for shit. Hey, you pick up this bill, you pick up this bill, whatever it is. Someone probably just put that headline on there and said like, I guarantee you Gabrielle Union and fucking Dwayne Wade's not saying, hey, our bills are 10,000. You're going to pay 5,000. You pay 5. I pay 5.
That's what I always think about when people say that shit. But I'm thinking about it right now. Like my dad, has always, I call it an allowance. But my mom just gives him cash. Like everything goes. For the longest time, they were both working, and then my mom stayed home and took care of the house. So my mom would just be like, "Here, if you want anything, here. Just if you want to save it." So my dad, like, You know, he'll do, I think it's like $200 a week. I don't know. But he just gets a little thing and he just holds it. So like he makes big purchases off of accumulating that, right? But then there's times where he's like, I'm going to get a new exhaust on my truck. Like it's just, here, give me the card or whatever, you know? And it's a weird thing, but I don't know. I just think like having money to the side. But I'm also the biggest hypocrite though, because I have a fucking shoebox full of cash that I'm like, don't fucking touch this. This is my shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I use that on like, you know, if we do something or whatever. But like that's something that just is separate. And
sounds like a rainy day fund to me.
She does that. No, but like I buy jewelry with that, or if I'm like, if we go on vacation, I'm like, I'll bring some cash, whatever, you know. But like, that's like, dude, this one.
Is it a Nike box? Is it a Nike box?
I'll tell you off camera.
It's a Balenciaga one. Stop playing with me.
Oh, okay. So speaking of spending money.
Oh.
Okay. Stepdad is dropping $2,000 a month on his stepdaughter's OnlyFans.
What's the problem? Step.
Okay, so we've actually talked about a lot of like OnlyFans, like funny scenarios.
And a lot of
like,
step shit.
Like on this. I
just came up with a crazy thought. Go ahead.
We've been trying to keep shit a little bit clean these last couple episodes.
Fuck that. I have
because,
a thought.
Because that one a while back got fucking nasty. So, you know, headline basically goes out there. How this all got brought to life was the stepdaughter actually went on her TikTok and basically was like, fuck you, stepdad. I'm about to expose you and I'm about to ruin your marriage. And this girl, I believe she's from like Australia. And there was this better. And there was this guy, you know, he went by some obviously, you know, alias, you know, name, email, basically whatever. There was this guy on her OnlyFans when she created it that was always one of like the top supporters. So I don't know if you guys know how OnlyFans works, but there's obviously a subscription, and then it's like where a lot of these people make money is in like the DMs. So you're in basically the DMs in OnlyFans, and they'll say, hey, you want a picture or a video of this? You got to pay me extra X amount of dollars.
So for example, like if somebody wants like, you know, they're like, yo, put your leg up like this, grab a fucking.
Yeah.
While I say your name.
So they gotta pay extra. You gotta pay special order.
Yeah.
It's like that.
You know what we need to do? We need to get a company account.
I don't know from experience. I just know what the internet tells me.
Gotcha.
I've actually never made an OnlyFans account.
Yet.
We gotta get a company one for R&D, bro.
Yeah, R&D one. So, but anyway, I guess what was funny about this is this girl had this guy in her DMs that was like every single day they talked. Every single week, he was like buying additional shit, and it got to up at the point where he was dropping like thousands of dollars on a monthly fucking basis, and yeah, she ends up fucking finding out, bro, that her mom and dad are divorced. Mom fucking remarried, obviously the dude, aka the stepdad, and fucking creepy little stepdad, bro. Was straight up in the OnlyFans going after it. So I don't know if there's much to really talk about this topic, but I just want to throw it out there. You know, try not to get in the stepdaughter's DMs if you guys ever have any.
I mean,
go ahead, Lucas.
No, you go.
No, it's just like, well, I have a lot of questions, right? Like, how did you find that she has a OnlyFans? But even more crazy though, it's like, imagine, this is crazy, bro, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it. Imagine you were roommates with a chick who you really wanted to fucking smash. You're like, God, dude, this chick is bad. You know, I want to fuck. And you find out she has an OnlyFans, and you're in the next room watching the shit. And she's in the neck. You're like, I can't fuck her, bro, but this is as close as I'm gonna get. How torturous is that? I'm not saying like
torturous. What do you mean?
But no, like to yourself. Like, why would you do that to yourself? Like, I cannot smash her. She's 50 feet away from me, putting this fucking dildo with my name on it inside of her, and I can't touch her.
Bro, you got some fantasy shit going on.
No, I'm just saying it's crazy. Is that not what's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if anything, it's more alleviating than torturous, though.
But you really want to smash her, and you can't. So you're doing this,
but it's not that you.
It doesn't go away though. You don't really.
But I mean, what's the next best thing? You're fucking what? She's putting it out there on fucking OnlyFans for the entire world to see. How many girls did you go to high school with? Well, I don't know how long your relationship. How many girls have you known throughout your entire life? And there had to be some that you were like, man, I wish I would smash. If you saw her pictures on fucking Pornhub, you were ecstatic, dog. You weren't pissed like, I'm going to torture myself. I'm not looking at this one.
But do you see how it could be kind of torturous, though?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just us as like natural humans. Like we crave and want like what we can't have.
Yeah, so there's an element, but
it's okay.
There's a lot of post-nut clarity in these types of things. You'll be like, oh, this is so wrong. I feel a lot better. Fuck that hoe.
Yeah. but okay, I just thought the real life example is like right? So you have a favorite porn star that you like, right? So you're watching her, you do your thing. So you're like, man, she's so nice with it. You know, I love what she does. She never neglects the balls. I love her. And then you go to
Cream Pie Poppy's coming out again.
And then you go to the what is it? The VMA, the porn convention.
Oh yeah.
AVN.
Yeah.
You go to AVN and guess what? She's working at a booth. You want her to fucking sign a poster for you. You're staring at her like, I've nutted 100 times to you.
Yeah.
And I can't touch you. I can maybe take a picture with you.
But I think that's weird though. If you're that obsessed, that's what
this motherfucker's doing with his stepdaughter.
Yeah.
He's like, is it just I don't know. I don't know what is in his head. Maybe
$2,000, bro. You obsessed.
You know what happened?
Yeah.
You want to know what happened? Here's what happened. So we were talking about our favorite, porns on a couple episodes ago, right? And he watched too many of those fucking stepdad, stepdaughter scenes, and he started getting these fucking thoughts going. Then all of a sudden he started seeing her run around the house in a little bit skimpy clothes, like little
she's
housewear.
A hoe. He knows.
And
already.
then somehow, some way, he found out that she had an OnlyFans, and then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh fuck!"
Or maybe he knew.
I bet
Curiosity,
you anything, bro.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Dude, you know how fucking crazy that is, bro? Because assuming she lives at home, 20s. He was married, got remarried, late 40s, right? I know that's not weird. That's not weird at all. But what I'm saying is like, I know the thought in his mind was like, I'd rather just fuck. In what way can I just offer her this cash to fuck? You know what I mean? You think he ever came to that thought?
Well, but there's a different side of that though, because you said he's obsessed because he spent $2,000. What if it's like, I'm gonna end up giving this bitch money anyway? She keeps coming over here asking for money. What if I know how much she's making at least on this shit, and I get what I want?
It's his indirect way of fucking. I mean, she's either gonna come to him for money, or he's just gonna like why not give her money and get something out of it?
But you still don't get to fuck. That's what's the crazy part.
I mean, but listen, sometimes that shit's
bro.
too.
He's fucking the mom who reminds him of the daughter, so he's probably banging her, thinking about the daughter.
And now, for full clarity, is this fucked up? Absolutely, this is fucked up.
I think he like. I mean, dude, I don't know. I mean, I just couldn't think of anything more torturous because, like, you see her around the house and it's just like, fucking like.
But I don't know if it has to be like that, though.
Bro, no, I think it is, bro. I think if you went as far as subscribing, paying for private shit, I know you're like,
I'm like,
okay, so
here's the question here.
He's probably accidentally bumping into her.
So who's more the fucking stepmom? Okay, imagine her. Who is she more pissed off at? Is she pissed off at her fucking daughter for just being a complete whore on OnlyFans and doing all these crazy videos? Or is she fucking more pissed off at the stepdad who's obviously the one funding all these fucking crazy videos?
She's pissed off at the stepdad. I already know this one. Of course. She's pissed off at the stepdad because her daughter, she raised that hoe.
She could,
she knew what the fuck's happening.
Yeah,
you know
she's probably like, nah. She's probably like, when you have kids, you're like, they can't do no wrong.
Or guess what? She says fuck it, and she joins the daughter's OnlyFans. Now we're talking.
She has the supporter. She's a supporter since day one. I would, nah.
She's like, Bro, could you imagine? Could you imagine if the daughter went to the mom and said, "Hey, mom, I'm making all this money on OnlyFans. Like, you should start doing one too." And then all of a sudden, the dad is now fucking pumping her OnlyFans as well, and she has no idea it's him.
Bro, his second favorite category is probably stepmom, stepdaughter, bro.
Yep.
That just sounds torturous, bro.
Stepdad, mom, and daughter.
I think he's gonna probably go.
You're definitely gonna be looking that shit up on Pornhub tonight.
I gotta see her though. Wait, what? I don't like the. I don't like the moms.
Hold up, it's about the
fucking going down a rabbit hole every time.
Okay.
Hey, to put a button on that shit. I don't know. Would you just offer her money to fuck?
I mean, that's a sticky situation, right? Because look, at the end of the day, you're crossing fucking hella boundaries, right? It's not like her mom's gonna find out and be cool with this in any fucking fashion. So it's like, no. Would I? No. But I don't feel like I'd be in this type of predicament personally. But I guess if I ever fucking happen to be,
it's just, I don't know, dude. I think just like as a once you step into that father role, step or not, it's different. I don't think you can ever sexualize, like, unless there's something really wrong with you. I don't think you can.
Honestly,
but to be fair, we don't know how the situation was, right? Like if he got with his mom and she was already fucking 24 years old, you can't play daddy then. I mean, you can play daddy then.
or
they're not blood related, man. Take her to Pound Town. Fuck it.
I'm kind of with you, Doug. Okay.
Okay. We're gonna go back to some normal content.
Hey,
get off the sexual shit real quick. So
even though we know y'all love it,
I got an interesting one here, and honestly, I think this all shit is just one big ass fucking scam. But I want to know your guys' thoughts. So we obviously live in an extremely fucked up world. However you look at it right now, we had COVID took people off the fucking deep end. Politics are at an all-time fucking high right now. A lot of weird shit going on, okay? On top of it, they just announced that 1 in 6 Americans are fucking diagnosed with quote-unquote depression. So, I don't know what your guys' thoughts here. Me, I think it's some bullshit, and I'll fucking go in a little bit deeper, but I'll let you guys dive in here. So, are 1 in 6 people really depressed, or is this just a play by fucking hospitals to pump a bunch of pills into people, fucking drive in revenue for the hospitals? What are you guys' thoughts?
Go ahead.
Nah, you go, bro.
I answered excuse me. Look, do I think depression is real? Yeah. Do I think some people have chemical imbalances in their brain to make them feel sad or fucked up or suicidal? 100%. Do I think that people don't do enough to make themselves better without going to the doctor? No. I think there's thousands of things you can do to naturally make yourself feel better. But when you do have a chemical imbalance, it is hard for you to see past this cloud that's over you.
Yeah.
Was this article kids or people?
Adults.
Okay.
Depression's rate rise to record levels with more than 1 in 6 adults diagnosed.
Everything I just said, sure. But I also think that, and I heard 50 Cent say this, depression is, and I 100% believe in this, depression is a privilege. And I think it can be looked as a privilege. Because, I've talked about my parents coming here all the time. My dad came here when he was 15, literally jumped the border, walked the desert for 2 days, came here, had 3 jobs to help family back home. I'm sure there was a time where he got sad. But when it's crunch time and you're trying to survive, I don't think that's in your psyche, and I think you just move past it, right? You work through it, or some people tuck it under the rug, and it comes out later. What at this moment I don't got time to deal with this shit. I think a lot of people right now are too comfortable. They don't have enough things going on. They don't have enough struggle in their life. real struggle. I'm not saying like, oh, this person don't follow me on TikTok, whatever. I think people just aren't going through enough. So they're just in this phase where they think too much about, they have too much time to think. You know what I mean? Too much time to think and too much sitting around to where you can start to be like, man, I'm kind of sad. Maybe I have this. And then to your point too, I do think like people, like doctors and hospitals and institutions are very quick to diagnose you with something, put you on pills, and now you're like in the system of people with depression. You know? Does that make any sense?
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I feel like, so coming through COVID, I felt depression, right? Like, so there was a lot of time where you couldn't do things, right? So I was just cooped up in the house. You got all the political wars happening. Your family's fucking divided. All this shit. I felt depression, but I feel like he's 100% fucking right. It's just like, you gotta fucking get active, get doing shit.
Exactly, bro.
Get the fuck out of it.
You know, they say that, and I don't. First of all, I don't give a fuck about coming off insensitive, but I do have a space in my heart for chemical imbalances in the brain, which anxiety is also part of that. Depression is part of that, and sometimes, you know, that takes people to, you know, do a little suey wooey, and now they're not here no more because they have that thing in their brain, right?
Right.
But the number one thing that contributes to all the nerves and all the chemicals going into your brain is your gut, right? And if a little Google search, and it's just like, bro, something as simple as like changing your diet, like not eating bullshit or whatever, can, I know there's a study and I have to look it up, but it increases like your natural serotonin and dopamine by like 30%. You know what I mean? Small stuff like that. If you compound that with going for a walk, getting some sunlight. We talked about Dr. Huberman, bro. Dr. Huberman is like, bro, 10 minutes. Just look in the sun for 10 minutes and you feel amazing. Open the blinds. Get some, you know what I mean? Like shit like that, I think are huge steps. But sometimes, you know, you do need some medication. You know what I mean? I'm not completely like, oh, you're depressed, shut up. You know what I mean? Like I do think it is a real thing, you know?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, you know, for me, like I've talked a lot about, like, I've been obviously hella like on my whole health kick, and there was this quote. I seen the whole like depression, you know, statistic. And then there was a quote. It was talking about, you know, the American diet is basically designed to drive American people to American hospitals, to then drive American healthcare, and then it's just like it's then causing, you know, it's like this vicious fucking circle, and it's, to your point, I feel there's so many people that have all these issues going on. They're not taking any action in their fucking life. They're not doing the little things to obviously that could, small behavioral diet changes can lead to big ass results, you know, in your life. And I personally feel between like diet, just, you know, like working out, and just purely like taking action in your fucking life. People have a lot of anxiety. They have a lot of stress. They have a lot of depression. And these people, how they quote unquote, you know, cope and deal with it is they're sitting in their house in a fucking dark room, watching fucking TV, glued to fucking social media, glued to this toxic ass fucking news that we see, getting fucking Uber Eats and DoorDash and shitty food delivered to your fucking house. A lot of these people, and I'm not saying everyone, because I think, Chuy, you're 100% right. There's people that have experienced fucked up shit, whether they were, you know, in the military and, you know, wars or, tragic things that happen in their life, or trauma as like a child. So like there's that bubble of people out there that, like there's people that, you know, need probably some medication and some therapy and, you know, different things. But there's also this whole other chunk of people that I feel that they use this term like depression or anxiety as like almost like a scapegoat and an excuse to not do, shit with your life.
Right.
We go on social media today, and there's all these different people making motivational reels, and like you know how it is today, right? It's like fitness content and motivational speakers and people wanting to teach you how to take better care of yourself, whatever it is. And you look at like the common theme across all of it, and it's just fucking taking action. And like that to me is what it like really comes down to. I feel that you can really do a lot by just taking like small action. It's not even just working out or like fucking diet. It's like, you got stress and anxiety in your life because of maybe your job, maybe because of like your fucking relationship. Like people sometimes build up this anxiety and depression because they're scared to face the fucking facts and scared to actually figure out what is needed to get out of this fucking slump.
The problem is when they're not self-aware enough to take action.
Yeah.
Right? Because
good point.
A lot of these from what I've seen, and I cut a lot of people in different age groups. Put yourself in the shoes of a 12-year-old kid right now.
Yeah.
Past 4 years. You going to school, school's already crazy. Just imagine, right?
Yeah.
Your Instagram's a thing, so whatever. So you're surrounded by this stuff. You might be getting bullied on cyberbullying, right? You might get like somebody's like, there's a little thread like, oh, this guy shit himself. There's a picture of you now. It's around your school, and now you're the kid, So you're dealing with something like that. Little hypothetical shit, right? COVID happens. Now you're at home. Maybe you don't have the best relationship with your parents. Maybe you do, but you're still stuck, confined in a home for that amount of time. All you have is social media. What do you do when you look on social media? If you're lucky enough to fall on like TikTok during that time and it's just funny and you're addicted to it, and then what happens during that time? Election. And now you're seeing, this side sucks, this side, this. You're seeing, all this crazy shit, and you're like, God damn, bro. You go back to school, you gotta wear this fucking mask. Now things are different, right? And it's just a constant like fucking getting beat down, and it's just like, and now you're listening to you're eating the food that your mom makes you, whatever. But when you're in middle school, whatever, you start to listen to your own music, start listening to whatever. So now you fall upon like Suicide Boys. You know who they are? It's like this really popular band from people that are like 20, not even a band, they're two guys. And the reason why they're called Suicide Boys was because they were like, we're gonna put a song out, and if it doesn't go well, we're just both gonna kill ourselves. Well, guess what happened? They blew up. So now all their music, and they have a huge audience, bro. I'm surprised you guys don't even know. Well, I'm not surprised because they're older. But people from like 12 to, not that, but I'm saying 12 to maybe 20 is their demographic.
Yeah.
So now you're listening to this music where they're actively talking about, I fucking hate life. I hate myself. This shit is so hard. I should just fucking blow my brains out, but with a 808 beat. And now you have this, and now you're listening to this, and just like sad
grew up
shit.
with fucking Eminem talking
No,
about
I'm just
some
saying,
fucking,
bro.
I'm throwing
But okay. On top of that, you live in Portland. There's no sun, and now you just have all of you know what I mean. So like, I get why sometimes these kids or sometimes people are like, bro, this I feel like this.
Yeah.
Not everybody lives in a place where it's sunny 350 days out of the year.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or I don't know. I have a lot
Not
of...
everyone likes sun, though. But I get what you mean. I get what you mean for sure. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I think, is the world crazy? Especially as a fucking kid. I can only fucking imagine what it's like being a kid in today's day and age and dealing with the COVIDs and dealing with hearing the politics and the family disputes and all the shit that's going on now. But at the end of the day, I feel like we all grew up in our own struggles. We all did. Yeah. So kids now have to figure out how to navigate the shit like we had to figure out we had to navigate our shit.
But just like all of us are still doing that, so are their parents. So nobody understands what the fuck is going on.
Like
so
our parents before us and their parents before them. Yeah. I feel like it's constant struggle, right? But the thing that advances is the technology, right? So it definitely throws an odd element, but it's a variable. I don't know how to equate how much more technology is elevating depression versus how well kids are more adapt to battling through it. But I feel like it's a constant cycle, right? Yeah. People are shitty, and they get shittier. We get more people adding more shit. It's just,
I guess like for me, I guess it's just like I wish like the message would change. It's kind of like during COVID, how like COVID was like, they just did all these scare tactics. If like you turned on the news when COVID first came out, it was just all these scare tactics. They weren't talking about like, hey, you know, these are some things you can do to take care of your health. These are, you know, vitamins that you should be taking, because it is known that people with, let's say, like low vitamin D, for example, are more prone to get fucking COVID. There was all these different like findings that they were figuring out with COVID. And instead of sharing like health related things that they could do, they just fucking do the opposite and they want to scare the shit out of you. It's kind of like the depression and the anxiety. They're more focused on providing like, oh, well, if you got this, you need to go to the doctor and get on this. Like, I wish the message would change where it's like, you know, hey, like identify the root cause on why you have this. And yes, you can say that not everyone is self-aware or, you know, whatever, but we also live in a world of fucking content. Anyone can learn anything today. Like if you don't know how to get out of something, or you don't know how to get out of depression, or you don't know how to take action, whatever action is needed to help this anxiety and help this depression, there's a fucking YouTube video for it. There's a fucking Instagram page for it. There's like our social media is, there's something for everyone out there. So I think especially, you know, you can look and you can sit around and fucking, you know, blame this or blame that, blame the family. But end of the day, you're 100% responsible for your own life.
Anything else, boys?
That's all we got.
Are you?
That's all she wrote.
I'm offering my step. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, thank you so much. We appreciate you. See you on the next one.
Peace.